home. Have you heard the news? It's probably been twisted to keep the general population conflicted. Better lick your finger and turn the page. Dissect the lines that made you to rage. Get out of your Monday drudgery. Turn up the volume on front page fuckery. Yeah.
Closer, and I want to make you closer. I feel like making you closer, oh. Closer, oh. Happy new calendar year, huns. It is the 2020 of the 6th, and we are back for another episode of Front Page Fuckery with me, Kelechi, the baby girl, the mother of London. Yeah, you know, Front Page Fuckery, what are we here to do if this is your first time listening? Well, we're here to turn bad news into good conversation. And there, unfortunately, seems to be quite a bit of bad news, but I can't go through it all because I'm not the BBC. And I don't mean Big Black Cock. I mean the news channel that I don't actually get on with, but there's a lot of law back there. Anyway, how have you been? How was your time? What are your resolutions for this year? Don't worry, I don't actually care. But in the sense that don't be beholden to things, you know? This life is just going to be what it's going to be. I'm speaking cryptically like the men. You know, there is nobody that writes more cryptically online than a married man who is fighting with his girlfriend. Yeah, a married man who is fighting with his mistress because suddenly you will start seeing, and I am so super observant. I don't know what it is about me. I clock these things and I don't know how. They'll suddenly start writing, it is what it is. And when you know it doesn't have to be explained, there's only so much that can be said. Brother, are you not tired? They stay leaving the cryptic messages, writing them online. It's like, shut up. There's always a pattern. You can tell. If I tell you, then we'll know their game will be exposed, and then they'll try and cover their tracks. But there's a formula to working it out. But usually, yeah, they're yapping on about a girlfriend when they're married because nobody gets into more relationship tussles than a married man with a girlfriend, child. Anyway, that's by the by. I am here. It is cold. I was just filming my other podcast earlier, and as I was recording, I was going, I can even do it here, and I could see my breath. I said, not me freezing, honey. But anyway, imagine I get hypothermia and how I tell everybody is, not me freezing. But yeah, we're here for another episode. Let's get into the things. It seems like there are quite a few things. Did I have any extra notes? I don't think so, because usually I like to share my news, but I also have to get out of here rather swiftly. So I don't, did I? Oh yeah, I've already put it. And it was one thing to talk about Anthony Joshua, which I'm going to do anyway. And sadly, the friends of his that died whilst they were in Nigeria. But we'll get onto that. My news, I don't think I have much. I mean, I made white chocolate and coconut cake. It came out really well. I was following a recipe that I saw online, but I was inspired to go and find the recipe when I was... I saw one of the videos of somebody I follow called Dee's Basement, Dees Basement, and she'd made that cake for Christmas. So I was like, I'm off to go and find a recipe and I'm going to make it too. And it came out beautifully, like spectacular. But my kitchen in my flat is way too small. This is a side note, a sidebar, if you will. Not the side chick that these married men stay in directing in public on social media. But my flat is way too small. My kitchen's too small for me to have all of the appliances that I have I've got a shelf where I try to like store them, but my worktop, I don't have much worktop space. So I was thinking of getting, you know, that Ninja 15 in 1, because then you can bake in it, air fry, da 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 da. So I was thinking maybe I should get that, because then it will save on the worktop space and then I could do other things. But if you already have it, let me know how you're getting on with it. A friend of mine has it and they swear by it. They say it's so good. But let me know if you have it as well. I'm looking for reviews before I go and spend money and buy it, because I will go and find Ninja themselves and fight them if it doesn't work the way that I expected. So yes. So I made that cake. It was beautiful. I've just, been making bits and bobs. I've sent out some of your spirit salts orders, and I've seen your reviews as well. Or so many of you telling me that the salts are working for you, and I'm really, really glad that they are, because I put a lot of energy into making sure that they do what it do, baby. So yeah. Anyway, like I said, gotta get out. So let's get in with the news. Let's start with the trash. Also, what I did, because the shop that I went to go and get the newspapers, they ran out of the Guardian and such. So I'm also looking online as well for all of the bits, so I can see the front pages on here as well. Maybe that's an economical way to do it, because not every week buying newspapers, honey, it's a bit much. But let's see. So let's start with the trash, I think. I mean, to be fair, most of the papers, do you like, sorry, do you like my cover for my MacBook? Yeah, I've had this MacBook for a number of years, and it's heavy breathing, and it's showing that rainbow circle to let me know that girly pop, any day now, I'm going to pack it up. Okay? I'm going to pack it the fuck in. Figure your life out. So we will see. But I love sparkles so much. Sparkles bring me so much joy in life. I love sparkles on pretty much everything. And would you know that about me? I don't know, because people seem to perceive me as this, I don't know, grouchy freedom fighter. And I'm like, not really. I'm pretty chaotic, and I just like to look at sparkly things. But anyway, into the woods. Is that Stephen Sondheim or the other one? Not Spielberg. Sondheim and someone of them. Anyway, it'll come to me. So the newspapers all seem to be saying the same thing. 47 dead in New Year sparklers inferno. Well, that's what the Sun have gone with online here. Say no to the Sun. The Daily Mail have gone with champagne sparklers blamed for inferno that cost 47 lives. So sorry to the lives that were lost. Sorry. Witnesses claim New Year party props sparked horror blaze at Swiss ski bar. A sparkler in a champagne bottle is believed to have caused a Swiss ski bar inferno that killed at least 47 revelers yesterday. Families face an agonizing wait to find out whether loved ones died in the early hours at Le Constellation in Crans, Montana. Or is it Crans, Montana? I think it's Crans, Montana. Southwest Switzerland. Officials warned it could take days to identify badly burned victims. The Foreign Office is on standby to help any British nationals after rescue chiefs said international citizens were among the dead. The blaze tore through the basement bar at 1:30 a.m. in the elegant resort, once home to James Bond star Sir Roger Moore. Oh, honey, let's see what other ones are here. Who was I just reading from then? One of them. Daily Express has got the same thing. Horror on the dance floor. It's murder on a dance floor. So you better not steal the groove. Or is it kill the groove? That is very inappropriate, Kelechi. People have died. But that's the song that my mind heard, especially because somebody had it in their video yesterday, and I don't think Sophia Lispector would want to be affiliated with such, so I apologize to all involved, including my brain. But let us continue. Very sad. New Year horror inferno. Some 115, I'm looking at the Daily Mirror now in terms of the trash. Oh, all of that fell out. Daily Mirror, in terms of the trash, says here, At least 40 people were feared dead last night after a fire ripped through a New Year party at a Swiss ski resort. Some 115 people were hurt in the tragedy at Le Constellation basement bar in Crans-Montana, which is popular with foreign tourists, including Brits. There were reports of waitresses carrying sparklers in bottles before the fire broke out. One witness said, "I saw people burning from head to foot. It was very shocking." Okay, I'm just going to be the bad guy. How many sparklers? Because the sparkler setting off one person, how did the sparkler set off all 47? Were you all covered in gasoline? Somebody needs to explain it to me. I'm not even trying to be insensitive. I just genuinely don't understand the logistics of how it happened. And are these, are they chateaus? Are they chalets? I don't know. Is it chalet? Chateau Chalet. Anyway, are they chalets? I don't know. Are they, basically what I'm asking is, are these places made of wood? I've never been skiing. Nobody's ever taken me. I don't know if I can actually ski. I don't know a thing, right? And it's cold in this office, so I don't know if I want to. But the point still remains, how did one sparkler cause all of this? Because one person burning, and we're in a bar, so where's the water? So how did the flames get to everybody? Can you understand what I'm saying? My brain is trying to work it out. I'm not even trying to be cheeky. 47 people dead, and you're telling me it was from a sparkler, or did the waitresses all throw the sparklers at the same time on everybody? One sparkler, and everybody got it, or is it because there was alcohol? But is alcohol flammable? I probably should know that, but I need more. I'm trying to understand, and I just need more to understand what's going on personally. Sparklers Inferno. And maybe there was always going to need to be a time for us to let those sparklers go. Why do you need it to be announced at a club that you bought champagne? We are in a cozy lives, but why do you need a sparkler? The first few times it was cute. When I was younger, dating the Nigerian fraud guys, it was cute. That was years ago. Yeah, well, almost 20 years ago. And we're still doing sparklers in the clubs. It's time to pack it up. Like my MacBook, it's time to pack it up. No more sparklers then. Because, okay, we get it. You bought champagne. Drink it. It's all right. But sparklers, and you need to be careful, because sometimes your hair is flammable. So your lashes, everything. Let's be mindful in 2026. Maybe no more sparklers, I think. But at the same time, I want to understand the logistics and the science of one sparkler. I know that everything is connected. One sparkler doing this. It feels like something else was afoot. Who else was present? Was there a specific person that they wanted to get got? Was it a hit? Maybe I'm speculating, and you'll be like, girl, people died. Don't be so insensitive. But this is why I have my own show, and I will say what I want. I want it explained, because it's not making sense to me. How maybe when they explain it, and they're like, oh, girl, one sparkler hit somebody, and then there was chaos, and then all the sparklers went bang, 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 boom, 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 brah, 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 and that's how it happened. Okay, I'll be like, my bad. Didn't understand that there were all of those sounds and the effects of them. 40 killed by fire in Swiss bar. This is The Guardian now. Well, have I done all of the trash? Let me just have a look. That song needs to stop going on in my head. But I guess that's going to be the title of the podcast episode. I'm so sorry, but I'm going to have to do it. It's right there. It's right there. Murder on the dance floor. But some would argue the technicalities, that was it a murder? No. Was it negligence? Well, we don't know if it was murder. Was it negligence? Yeah. Okay. The Times have written a bit more. It says here, foreign tourists was presumed to be among the victims. Police said without specifying nationalities. The French Foreign Ministry has said eight French nationals are missing, 16 Italians are missing, and about a dozen are in hospital. Most of the hurt had been severe burns. The most seriously injured were flown from the Alpine resort to hospitals across Switzerland by a fleet of 10 helicopters. Some were later transferred to burns units in Germany and France. The cause of the fire was unknown. Beatrice Pelloud, the Swiss Attorney General, said she ruled out terrorism or any kind of attack and promised a thorough investigation. There we have it. Nobody should ever call me a liar again in this life. There we have it. She said she's ruling out a terrorist attack or, what did she say? Or any kind of attack. That means it was. That means it was, because we are lied to every rascal bumperclart day. You cannot... I'm not going to say anything about the moon landings. Don't worry. You cannot convince me that it was the sparkler. Is it only today that we've been experiencing sparklers? Is it only today that we've been experiencing sparklers? When I just gave you an example that, Omar, I've been seeing sparklers in the club from when I was in my 20s. And now this said sparkler is what took out 47 people. The sparkler in Champagne took out 47 rascal bumperclart people. You cannot trick me. In 2026, let's start all speaking our truth, because off subject, but we're coming back on subject. I was surprised. I was flabbergasted. I was confounded. I was confused by the number of people who were posting that 2025 was such a hard year for me, the hardest of my life. I went through so much. It wasn't a great year for me. Child, why didn't you lot speak sooner? Why didn't you speak up sooner? There I was thinking you were all having a great time. And this is what I say, social media is so deceptive, because people will really think that people are living it up. Meanwhile, they are down in the dumps. Poetry, if you will. Let's start being honest. And of course, maybe sometimes people don't want to share these things because you will get some person who is experiencing religious psychosis come and tell you that God gives some battles to the strongest soldiers. I'm not a soldier, bro. I'm not even if I were a soldier, I'm not one of the strongest. I want to see the infantry, because if I'm the strongest that God has, God needs to rethink the blood clots because I'm going to give up. I'm going to give up. Better understand something. Understand something. Anyway, because Beatrice has told us this, that she rules out terrorism or any kind of attack, I'm going to go with ding, ding, ding. It was an attack. Was it a terrorist attack for 500 euros? Yes. But they won't call it that because probably how it happened wouldn't be a brown person, wouldn't be all of that. So they'll want to hide it. And, you know, I've been watching so many shows. I see how let me tell you something. No, actually, let me finish what I was going to say. The moment the newspapers en masse published that MI6 guy, was he MI6 or MI5? Remember the guy? Now I'm going to find it. Now I've got a bee in my bonnet, so I'm going to find it. I'm not fucking joking. Right now, we're going to have to read this. Let me find it. What's it? MI5 in Holdall. Some of you probably already know where I'm going with this. Death of Gareth Williams. Here we go. Because I just put in random whatever, and this AI has decided to tell me that who I'm talking about refers to the mysterious 2010 death of GCHQ / MI6 codebreaker Gareth Williams, whose naked body was found padlocked inside a red North Face holdall in his bathtub, leading to an infamous cold case known as the spy in the bag mystery, with investigations concluding he likely locked himself in accidentally, but a coroner ruled it was unnatural and likely to have been criminally mediated. You don't say. You don't say. Gareth, a 31-year-old mathematician at the time that was part of MI6, he was seconded there from GCHQ, wherever the blood clot that is. I'm joking. August 2010 was then found in a red North Face bag. I have one of those bags. I should have brought it with me today, but I didn't even know I was going to talk about this. We should watch me try to squeeze myself into that North Face bag, into a holdall. You know, them waterproof ones. You're telling me he's put himself in there and then he padlocked it from the outside? And I promise you, every newspaper in this fucking country ran that story like it made sense. Conclusion is, MI6 guy or whatever put himself in holdall in the bathtub, padlocked it from outside. The end. That's when I was like, no, psyops are well and truly thriving, and we are all taking this as fact. And then some kind of TV show was made as a result of it, and they basically were alluding to, oh, he's a homosexual, he's a gay. He's a gay that likes to do funky and radical things. And so when he met somebody to do funky and radical things, they now did funky and radical. They did funky radical. And after they finished, this one now locked him inside the holdall. Killed him and locked him inside the hold. Do you know how contorted you have to be inside a North Face holdall bag? And these blood clots told us that, oh, well, girl, I don't know what to tell you. You better tell me something and tell me quickly. What kind of flexibility? Is he Houdini? This is from that very moment, maybe my destiny was already decided. From 2010, when that happened, I said, I will be an investigator of the news. I will be a dismantler of the news front pages, because you are not going to get to just lie so blatantly to people's faces ever again. And I'm telling you, I'm picking up the same thing now. My spidey senses are going off and I'm like, 47 dead, and you're telling me it's from a rascal sparkler? Go on. Sell me something else. It says here, investigation findings. Oh wait, the mystery. Could he have zipped himself in and locked it from the outside? Or was it murder? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Is this a legitimate question? Could he have zipped himself in the holdall and locked it from the outside? Or was it a murder? Ooh, I don't know. The mind boggles. Get the fuck out. Police found no DNA evidence of another person and concluded he probably died alone from an accident. And that is, if there was no other reason to defund the police, it's that reason right there. So because you found no DNA evidence, because you don't know that professional assassins exist, because you found no evidence, then he must have put himself in there. What are you talking about? Have you got a flying pig to sell me? Pig? You can find this yourself on Wikipedia, on all of the things. It is right there on the internet for you to also see. This story blew my mind. From then, I was just like, you lot can fuck off. Fuck off. And also, while we're on the subject, justice to my I was going to say my bitch. God, no. Justice to my baby girl, Jill Dando. Because that wasn't right either. Something to go on there too. 2010 was when this happened. We're now in 2026, 14 years. What transit have we had? Pluto, Capricorn, moving to Aquarius. I hope we find out what really happened to Gareth. Because Gareth Hun, if you'd been alive, you might have wanted to go Turkey for that hairline. I'm sorry. So cute. I'm sorry about that, love. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I do not believe that it was just a mistake or it was because of a sparkler. And especially because this one has now said that it definitely wasn't any kind of attack. I'm like, oh, girl, I guess it was. But why is the thing is, we shouldn't question, oh, what is the why? You can tell me whatever the fuck. It's the why. Who was there that needed to get got? That's what I want to know. What are the links? Some bodies were so badly burnt that identifying them could take days of DNA and dental tests. Or would you want to then plant somebody there that you've trafficked, and then that way there's no further evidence. Anyway, as the day wore on, frantic parents posted messages on social media appealing for news of their children. Matthias Reynard, a councillor in the southwestern canton of Valais, where Crans-Montana is located, said, "We have met the families. More of them are in a state of uncertainty. Hospital officials said the number of dead may rise as some of those being treated were extremely badly burnt." Frederic Giesler, the police chief of Valais, said the immediate priority was to identify the victims and notify next of kin. The entire community is devastated, he said. Gian Lorenzo Cornado, the Italian ambassador to Switzerland, said local officials told him the fire was started by someone letting off a firework inside the bar. He joined Italian families at the resort, which is 60 miles from the border, to seek information. The King and Queen offered condolences to those affected. It is utterly heartbreaking that a night of celebration for young people and families instead turned to such nightmarish tragedy. See, now you could get me with a youth being so silly that they let off a firework in the club. I could, I'm willing to be convinced. You could get me with that one. Like, that happened, but you can't tell me that it was a sparkler. If you're saying a sparkler that was in a champagne, I'm not believing that. Or are you saying they took the sparkler out of the champagne and threw it? But still, 47 dead is still, I'm still not all the way in. You've got a bit more convincing to do when it comes to me. What's here? Charles said, while offering our admiration for the heroic first responders and the selfless emergency services, we wanted above all to convey our deepest possible sympathy. Julie, a French 16-year-old, told The Times, "I saw someone put a lit sparkler or a firework like a candle in a champagne bottle on a high table. In a few seconds, the entire ceiling was on fire. People in the basement bar panicked and stampeded up the stairs to the ground floor, where some smashed some bits, I guess." So they put the sparkler downwards, creating an explosion. Maybe. But what kind of idiot would do that? Anyway. It's really sad either way. And, this is what scares me about being a parent, because imagine your child is like, oh, I'm going to go skiing with my friends and we're going to do this and we're going to do that, only for one fucking idiot to decide to try to defy the law of physics and chemistry and fuck everybody up. Nah. Crazy. Beckham sent olive branch to Brooklyn. Well, I've got that in written form, but we'll look at that. More highlights about the Inferno. No, I'm not going to say Disco Inferno. I'm not going to say that. Thank you very much. You think you're getting away? I will prove you wrong. Sorry. What is happening with the Beckhams and Brooklyn? What's that all about? I don't understand. I don't keep up with these things. I tend to not know what famous white people are doing. Just white people generally, but I tend to not know what famous white people are doing. Brooklyn Beckham, the oldest son of David Beckham and Victoria Beckham, was noticeably absent from the Soccer Stars 2025 recap after allegedly blocking his family on Instagram amid a feud. Ooh, okay. David Beckham is one teammate short. Amid an apparent family rift, the soccer superstar and his wife Victoria Beckham's oldest son, Brooklyn Pelt Beckham, was not included in David's recap of 2025. In a carousel of images shared on Instagram, December 31st, the 26-year-old and his wife, Nicola Pelt Beckham, were noticeably absent from family gathering. I love that they've got each other's last names. Were noticeably absent from family gatherings, including David's 50th birthday celebration and his team Inter Miami's CF's MLS Cup championship win, where his siblings, Romeo Beckham 23, Cruz Beckham 20, and Harper Beckham 14 were present. I feel very lucky to have had the year I've had in 2025, full of moments that I will never forget, David wrote in the caption. From my 50th to my knighthood. Ugh. Still pinching myself. Oh, don't pinch yourself about that. You could, no. And then finishing with winning the MLS as an owner. He continued, I'm so grateful to my incredible wife, my amazing children, my friends and team, and I work with every single day. Nothing would have been possible without you all. Thanking all those who helped him make incredible memories during a year, David added in a note to his family, at Victoria Beckham, I love you and our kids. But there may be another reason why Brooklyn was not included in his Instagram post. As Cruz recently alleged on Instagram, my mum and dad would never unfollow their son. Let's get the facts right. They woke up blocked, as did I. And it appeared that David and Victoria would have been, who said that? Who said that? Oh, Cruz was getting involved. Oh, so he blocked. Right. Which one is this one? He's so cute. Is that Cruz? Which one? Or is that Brooklyn? The one that looks like Justin Bieber, but with a shaved head. Anyway, in other news, David needs to calm down on them fillers. Sorry, by the by. So Cruz is now getting involved, saying on Instagram, my mum and dad would never unfollow their son. Let's get the facts right. They woke up blocked, as did I. Well, clearly because you have picked a side. And it appeared that David and Victoria, who have been married since 1999, also celebrated Christmas in Brooklyn, while they were seen decking the halls at their home on social media. Brooklyn paid a visit to Nicola's parents, Nelson Peltz and Claudia Hefner Peltz. Claudia Hefner? We wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, Nicola 30, captioned photos of herself and Brooklyn posing beside her mum and dad on December 26th, filled with so much love, peace and happiness. That is shade with that peace. For more details about their family drama surrounding the Beckhams, read on. Nicola Peltz Beckham didn't wear Victoria Beckham on her wedding day. Did she need to? So I wonder what's going on. Well, some things there. And I mean, I've heard, not rumors, but heard some bits about David and infidelity, but I don't know. I'm staying out of it. He must have just gotten tired of how his dad behaves. Who knows? I don't know. I don't actually know what's going on. I won't even try to speculate, but I just thought that would be interesting to look at. Another thing that's interesting to look at is Will Smith. Will Smith. Here comes a man that's black. Here comes the man that's black. Ooh. Sued for harassment. Here comes a man that's black. Anyway, Will Smith has been sued by a tour violinist who is accusing the rapper of sexual harassment, wrongful termination, and retaliation. In the suit, filed Tuesday and reviewed by Variety, musician Brian King Joseph named Smith and Trable Studios management as defendants and accuses Smith of predatory behavior and deliberately grooming and priming Mr. Joseph for further sexual exploitation while on his Based on a True Story 2025 tour this past spring. The suit alleges that Smith hired Joseph in November 2024 to perform at a show in San Diego and was subsequently invited to join his 2025 tour and play on his upcoming album as their relationship grew closer. Smith told Joseph that "you and I have such a special connection that I don't have with anyone else," among other similar expressions. Joseph, who previously competed on America's Got Talent, joined the first leg of Smith's tour in March 2025 for a show in Las Vegas where hotel rooms had been booked for the band and crew members. His suit claims that his bag, which contained his hotel room key, went missing for several hours before management found and returned it to him, and that members of management were the only individuals with access to his room. Later that night, Joseph returned to find that someone had unlawfully entered the room and left behind belongings including wipes, a bottle of HIV medication with another individual's name, and a note that read, "Brian, I'll be back no later than 5:30. Just us, drawn heart, Stone F," which Joseph interpreted as a warning that an unknown individual would soon return to his room to engage in sexual acts with him. You came to you came to my room and left a bottle. I don't know things. I was going to say bottle of HIV medication. I thought PrEP was, I don't know. Anyway, he notified hotel security and Smith's representatives and reported the incident to a non-emergency police line. He claims that just days later, a member of the management team shamed him for the incident and told him he was being terminated, suggesting that Joseph made the whole thing up. A representative for Smith did not immediately respond to Variety's request for comment. The suit claims that due to the termination, Joseph suffered from PTSD and economic loss. He is suing for retaliation, wrongful termination, and sexual harassment that damages be determined by jury. So, how do we know that it was Will Smith that left the bottle of HIV medication and the wipes? I mean, he seems kind of like that sort of woo-woo guy that would be like, "Oh, we have such a great connection. We da-da-da-da-da-da." So, I mean, are those grounds? Don't get me wrong. I always say, like, believe victims. I'm just trying to understand what exactly is going on here. And, because I'm not on Twitter, I definitely don't know, or X or whatever the fuck it's called. I definitely don't know the ins and outs of all of the other bits. So I'm just going with what I'm reading. Brian King Joseph. I want to see what Brian King Joseph looks like. Sorry, I'm interested. If there are any pictures, Brian King Joseph. We're doing this in real life, honey. We're on the ground, We're doing this in real time. Oh, okay. All right. All right. I see. I get that. God. Anyway, let's read The Guardian. Let me not even try to find words because I'm going to say the wrong thing, honey. Accept move. So I'm just reading from The Guardian now. Will Smith is being sued by a violinist from his 2025 tour who claims the rapper and actor exhibited predatory behavior and was deliberately grooming and priming him for further sexual exploitation. Brian King Joseph is also pursuing the performer and his company, Trayball Studios Management, for wrongful termination and retaliation in a suit filed in the Superior Court of California. Joseph alleges that he was hired for the tour in support of Smith's new album based on a true story after first appearing on stage with Smith in December 2024. Then he says that whole thing about special connection. I think, are they all just getting this from Associated Press? In March 2025, Joseph alleges that his bag and hotel room key went missing at a Las Vegas tour date and was returned several hours later. That night, Joseph claims he went to his hotel room to find it had been unlawfully accessed with wipes and HIV medication bearing another person's name left behind, in addition to a note that read, "Brian, I'll be back no later, 5:30, just us, Stone F." Joseph said he concluded that an unknown individual would soon return to his room to engage in sexual acts with him. The suit states that members of the tour's management were the only individuals with access to his room. Joseph says that he notified hotel security and representatives for Smith and reported the incident by a non-emergency to a non-emergency police line. And all the bits we read before about him being accused of fabricating the event. Smith's attorney, Alan B. Grodsky, denied these allegations in a statement to the Daily Mail, which read, "Mr. Joseph's allegations concerning my client are false, baseless, and reckless. They are categorically denied." And I've already said, whenever people say categorically, I don't believe them. "They are categorically denied, and we will use all legal means available to address these claims and to ensure that the truth is brought to light." The Guardian has contacted Smith's representatives. In a review of the album for Pitchfork, rated 2.4 out of 10, critic Stephen Kearse wrote, "Based on a true story, lacks the easy repose of an artist in their comfort zone or the playfulness of one cutting loose in their sanctum. It is a campaign platform devoid of perspective or style, uninterested in narrative or even spin, but always on message. Please take me back." I did think, is it at the same time? I don't know. Maybe I'm getting my timelines mixed up. But when he showed up to do that set with AG Online outside King's Cross, I was a bit like, what's going on here then? Because when they start doing aggressive like press tours or whatever, I'm just like, what are you doing this for? But I don't know. This is all allegedly. But I think we're being told something because, they don't tell us the whole thing straight away. Why the specificity about the HIV medication? What do we not know? I don't know. But Will Smith has been going through it because his face has been looking really puffy and he always looks like he's crying or has cried because his eyes are always red. So I don't know what it is about his diet or the medications that he's taking separately to what we're talking about here, or just the general life that he has with his family. But he needs to take it easy because it's giving high blood pressure. And what else did I see? Well, I guess the last thing I was going to speak about is like I said, Anthony Joshua, which is really sad. Starmer gambles political future on making voters feel better off by May. Oh, piss off. Playing fields could be sold off for new homes under planning reforms. Are there no other places that you can use instead of taking the playing fields that children need? Oh, so annoying. Biowarfare could be tailored to target race and sex, and UK must prepare. But we already know this, though. We already know this is why we're saying that it's such an issue about facial recognition and all of the information that we're putting into these menstruation apps and these ovulation apps. They're gathering all of these data or all of this data about each individual because it's going to be used against us at some point. And everybody currently is like, well, I don't mind. I've got nothing to hide. You wait there. You're the one that they're looking for. Anyway, Anthony Joshua discharged from hospital after Nigeria car crash. British heavyweight boxer Anthony Joshua has been discharged from hospital in Nigeria days after a fatal car accident that killed two of his close friends. The former world champion was deemed fit to recuperate at home, the Ogun and Lagos states said in a joint statement, describing him as heavy-hearted over the loss of his friends. The 36-year-old was a passenger in a Lexus SUV that collided with a stationary truck on a major expressway in Ogun State near Lagos on Monday. The two men who died were Joshua's close friends and team members Sheena Gami and Lateef Lat Ayodele. After leaving the hospital on Wednesday, the Briton visited the funeral home where the bodies of his friends were being prepared for repatriation. Earlier, Eddie Hearn, who has promoted Joshua since he turned professional after winning gold at the 2012 Olympics, paid tribute to Joshua's close friends and team members. Rest in peace, Lats and Sheena. Hearn posted on Instagram, your energy and loyalty among so many other great qualities will be deeply missed. Praying for strength and guidance for all of their family, friends, and of course AJ during this very difficult time. Gami was Joshua's full-time sports and exercise rehabilitation coach and worked with him for more than 10 years. Speaking to the BBC on Wednesday, Ogun State Police spokesperson Oluseyi Babasheyi said investigations are still ongoing and described the process as still discreet. The Traffic Compliance and Enforcement Agency in Ogun State, where the accident occurred, has said preliminary investigations showed the vehicle had burst a tyre before crashing into the truck. Joshua, who was born in Watford to Nigerian parents, was on a holiday in Nigeria after his win over Jake Paul in Miami on 19th of December. Earlier, Tony Bellew, the retired cruiserweight world champion, posted on X thoughts and prayers to the families of these men. Tragic losses in horrific circumstances. I hope he, Joshua, is able to process this with time, because there is no pain in life worse than grief. Two-time undisputed heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk and British former heavyweight champion Tyson Fury also posted Instagram stories to offer their condolences. It's really sad. A burst tire. I mean, of course. And the roads in Lagos or Ogun State, wherever you are, the roads are atrocious. But from a spiritual perspective, that seems very somehow. But I'm thankful for, that he's alive, and sad that, his friends lost their lives. Because how he came out unscathed is not unscathed, but, the fact that he can still recuperate on all of that is literally a miracle. Because what do you actually mean? And after that high of beating Jake Paul, to then literally a few days later, you could have lost your life like that. It's scary, extremely scary. But my heart goes out to him, because I would feel like shit, because you want to go Nigeria, you want to have a great time, you want to chill, and then the people that have come along with you, they die. The guilt that would be eating him up right now, I wouldn't wish on anybody. So I'm sending him all of the vibes, because that can't be easy at all. But I think that's all that I wanted to cover. I think that's all the news that I have for you in terms of the front pages and the things that I've been seeing. I hope that you are well, and let's just see what 2026 has in store for us, because it's feeling like it's going to be a crazy one, especially around summer. Feels like it's going to be a crazy one, but let's strap up and see what the wild ride is that's waiting for us. But yeah, that's all. It's been me, Kelechi, the baby girl mother of London. Thank you for listening. This has been Front Page Fxckery, turning bad news into, I can't even say good conversation, but we turned it into something this week, right? Looking forward to your comments and all of the things that you might have to share too. I'm sending you lots of love, and I guess I'll catch you on the other side of the news. Peace.
Oh, have you heard the news? It's probably been twisted to keep the general population conflicted. Better lick your finger and turn the page. Dissect the lines that made you to rage. Get out of your Monday drudgery. Turn up the volume on Front Page Fxckery.